Dear students, good morning. How are you all today? I hope that you are doing well. So today we are going to see what is meant by statistics. So I'm going to give you an overview of statistics, and then so this is our objectives today. First thing, we are going to see the definition of statistics, and then I am going to distinguish between a population and a sample. Then we will see the difference between the parameter and the statistics. And then after that, I will explain what's the difference between the descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Okay, let us start. So before knowing about the definition of statistics, you should know about what is meant by a data. So data is a collection of information which can be confirmed coming from observations or through by counting the objects or by measurements or by some responses given through and survey. If you conducted surveys, the responses will come. No, that responses also we can take it as a data. So what is now the data means it consists of information coming from observations, counts, measurements, or responses. Okay, so let us see one example, some examples related to the data. So this is one of the examples coming from the source Whole Grains Council that tells about people who eat 3 daily servings of whole grains have been shown to reduce the risk of stroke by 37%. And then 70% of 1,500 US spinal cord injuries of minors result from vehicle accidents, and 68% are not wearing a seat belt. So this is some data we are collecting. So next thing, you are going to see what is statistics. So the definition for statistics is the science of collecting, organizing, analyzing, and interpreting data in order to make decisions. So there are so many steps to give a conclusion about the data. So first step, we need to collect the data, and then we need to organize them, and we need to analyze, and then we need to interpreting the data in order to give the conclusion. So from that conclusion, we can make a decision. Okay. So these are with each step we are going to see one by one in each chapter. Okay. So here, so in the beginning, I explained about what is meant by data. All right. So in that data, there are two sets of that under the data sets. So first one is the population. So population is nothing but collection of all outcomes. Please underline that all. What is meant by an all? Wait a minute. Yeah. So please underline that all. That is very important. So the collection of all outcomes or measurements or responses or counts that are of interest. So for example, if you're considering the population in India, that is we are collecting the all outcomes, that is all responses from the populations from the whole country, the India. That is called population. Okay. Sample means it is a subset or part of the population. For example, if you are considering only the population of responses from Tamil Nadu means that is an example for the sample. That is the subset or the part of the population. Okay. So that's the only difference. You can see the picture here. So here some people are standing, which is an example for a population. From that people, we have collected only the 3 people. That is considered as a sample. Okay. So how I am going to give you some example. Please identify the data set, whether it is a population or sample. Okay. The first example, in a recent survey, 1,500 adults in the United States were asked if they thought there was solid evidence for global warming. 855 of the adults said yes. So identify the population and the sample. Describe the data set. Okay. So this is the example adapted from Pew Research Center. Please tell me which one is the population here and which one is the sample. So please, first of all, please read the example and understand it well. Then identify the data sets. Okay. So here in this example, we can say the population as the solution. The population, which consists of all the responses of the responses of all adults in the US. Okay, that is called the population, all adults in the US. But if you are considering a sample, we need to consider only the responses of the adults in survey. Okay, keep noted the all. Okay, all for population. So the sample means which is the subset of the population. So here the sample consists of the responses of the 1,500 adults in the US in the survey. Okay, that is the sample. But we need to consider the population as the responses of all adults in the US. Okay, I hope that you can understand what's the difference between the population and sample. If you have doubt, you can ask me. Okay, here the sample is the subset of the response of all adults in the US. So here the data sets consist of, they have given the count like this, no? So in the previous layer, you can see the count. 855 of the adults said yes. So in this, out of this, we can consider the remaining thing as a said no. Okay, so the data set consists of 855 as yes and 645 said no. This is the responses they have recorded. Now, the next topic we are going to see what's meant by parameter and statistics. So in the previous slide, I had explained about so far what is meant by data, what is meant by statistics, and what's the differences between the population and sample. The next thing we are going to see what's the differences between the parameter and statistics. So first of all, please note the parameter, the first letter is P. Okay, so that's why we highlighted here as the P, capital letter. So the definition of the parameter is a numerical description of a population characteristics. So the parameter tells about the numerical description of a population, and statistics tells about the numerical description of a sample. So please correlate that the letter as PP. Yes, yes. Okay. So you will not confuse. You will not get confused between these two. You will not change it. Okay. So the example for the parameter is average age of all people in the United States. Okay. Please note that all. That's why. So the average age of all people, that is the numerical description, the average age. That's why here this example denotes the parameter. The next thing is the statistics. This is a numerical description of a sample characters. I already told. See the yes, PP. Okay. So you will never forget about this, the definition. Here, the example for the statistics is the average age of people from a sample of 3 states. So they have given only the average age of people from a sample. Before I told the average age of all people in the United States, but we are considering only a sample of 3 states. Could you understand? See the picture here that shows the United States, the whole thing, but in the sample, we are considering only the 3 states, the average age of people coming from 3 states. Okay. This is the main difference between the parameter and statistics. Hope you can understand the difference between the parameter and statistics. Now I'm going to give you an example So you are going to decide whether the numerical value describes the population parameter or a sample statistics. Okay, this tells you the distinctions between the parameter and statistics. The first example, a recent survey of a sample of college career centers reported that the average starting salary for petroleum engineering majors is $83,121. In this example, please tell me what is the numerical value describes whether it is a population parameter or a sample statistics. So here it tells about the sample statistics. Why? Because the average age of $83,100 is based on a subset of the population, not the whole, all the populations. Okay. So this numerical value tells about the is based on the subset. So it is a sample, numerical value of a sample. That's why this example gives the sample statistics. Okay. The second example, the 2,182 students who accepted admission offers to Northwest University in 2009 have an average SAT score of 1,442. Here, please decide whether it is tells about the population parameter or sample statistics. The 2,180 students who accepted admission offers. Okay. So here, please note that only the total number of students in the university is only 2,182 because this much students only got admitted in the university. Okay, who have an average SAT score of 1,442. So this is the whole population in the university. That is the all students are studying in the university is only this much. So this is the population parameter. This tells you the population parameter. All of you can understand. So the SAT score of 1,442 is based on all the students who accepted admission offers in 2009. Could you understand? So we should not consider that that university, that whole population means not the number of students who are studying in that place. Okay, so we need to consider the population as a students who are studying in that Northwestern University. All of you can understand. Okay, the next thing. Next, I'm going to describe about there are some branches of statistics. So there are two types of branches of statistics. Two types of statistics are there. One is descriptive statistics, another one is inferential statistics. So under this descriptive statistics, so what is in the descriptive statistics? It involves, so I already explained the definition for statistics, right? So in that, what are the steps before the conclusion? Before we making the conclusion, what are the steps are there that comes under the descriptive statistics? The inferential statistics tells you, gives you the conclusion for that statistics. Okay. In descriptive statistics, it involves organizing, summarizing, and displaying data. So first of all, we need to organize the data and summarize it, and at last we need to display it. So we can display the data through table, charts, like that. Okay. So this comes under the descriptive statistics. The next thing, inferential statistics. So after we have displayed, after we have the that is interpreting the data, we made some conclusion, right? So that comes under the inferential statistics. It involves using a sample data. So we are not considering the whole population. It's very difficult to get conclusion by testing the whole population. Okay, so instead of testing the whole population, we are going to take only the sample from the population and we are going to test it. From that, we are going to get the conclusion. We need to get the conclusion. So inferential statistics involves the sample data. Okay, we are by using the sample data to get the conclusion. Okay, we are going to use the sample data to get the conclusion about a population, the whole population. For example, we can take in a kitchen, see, we always test how the rice cooked or not in a pot. Okay. See, we are not testing the whole pulses of rice. We are not going to check. See, in a spoon, we are taking some rice and we check whether it is cooked or not. By that conclusion, we get the pot of rice having cooked. Okay. So like that, here also, we are taking only the sample data to draw the conclusion about a population. Can you understand? So here there are some branches of statistics. In that, two types. One is descriptive statistics, another one is inferential statistics. So descriptive statistics, we are displaying the data and we are interpreting, organizing, everything we are doing. But in inferential statistics, we get the conclusion about the sample data. From that, we are getting the, we are going to get the knowing about the population by testing the sample data. Okay. So now we are going to see one example which tells you the difference between the descriptive and inferential statistics. Decide which part of the study represents the descriptive branch of statistics. What conclusion might be drawn from the study using the inferential statistics? A large sample of men age 48 was studied for 18 years. For unmarried men, approximately 70% were alive at age 65. For married men, 90% were alive at age 65. See the difference between the unmarried man and married man. Okay. So read the example again and get the conclusion whether we are using which part of the study which represents the descriptive branch of statistics and which one represents the inferential statistics. Okay. I will give you some time. Yes, sir. Okay. So now you have got the conclusion. This is the answer for that. So descriptive statistics, what I show and what I explained before, it tells you how to organize and how to display the data. So here what is displayed in this picture, that tells you the descriptive statistics. For unmarried men, approximately 70% were alive at age 65. And for married men, 90% were alive at age 65. But so the possible inference drawn from the study is that being married man has a longer life than the unmarried man. All right. So here, married is associated with a longer life for man. That is the inference you have got from this example. Okay. So I'm going to end up this session. So what we have seen so far today. So first of all, I explained what is meant by statistics. And I explained about the differences between the population and the sample and the parameter and statistics. At last, I had explained about the descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Okay. Do you have any doubt? Please, you can ask me through chat box. Okay, students. So I'm going to give you one activity. From that, you can, if you get a correct answer, that shows that you understand well this concept, today's concept. Okay. The first question, please identify the population. From this example, a survey of 500 adults in the US. Please note it. A survey is given only for 500 adults in the US. It found that 54% drink coffee daily. 54% drink coffee daily. The first option A tells a collection of the 500 adult survey. Second option, collection of all adults in the US. Collection of all adults in the US. Then third option is 54%, just a 54%. And D is the 500. So identify which tells you the population. Okay. So please note it, the all. Okay. The collection of all adults in the user tells you the population. Okay. The next example, identify the sample. A survey of 500 adults in the US found that 54% drink coffee daily, the same example I gave. Now identify the sample here. So we already know that the B option is the population. So omit that one, take the options A, C, D. From that, identify which one is the sample. Okay. So the collection of 500 is survey. Okay. That only 500 adults have been surveyed. But in the US, there are so many adults. Instead of beyond that survey, you will have some more adults in the US. That is the population, but we need to take the 500 adults as a sample. Okay. Say true or false. In the statement, a survey of 500 adults in the US found that 54% drink coffee daily. Whether this 54% tells you a parameter. So parameter is the numerical description of a population. You know already. Whether this 54% tells you the numerical description of a population or a numerical description of a sample. So here they have been given 54% is a parameter. Whether it is true or false, it is false because this is the 54% comes from the 500 adults in the US, a survey of 500 adults in the US. But we already know that a survey of 500 adults in the US is a sample. From that sample only, we are getting this inference, the 54% drink coffee daily. So this tells you about the numerical distribution of a sample. So we need to take it as a sample statistics, not a parameter. Okay, so that's why it is false. Okay, we are going to end up the slide. So our class is over today. So we will see in the next class, the next section tomorrow. Okay, see you. Bye bye, students.